You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. Well, I did an update last night over on the other channel about Deshaun Watson and any possible further discipline because the NFL is now, of course, watching Deshaun Watson after yet another lawsuit was filed. The NFL and Roger Goodell look like complete clowns in this situation, but that's what they get for backing off of the indefinite suspension. The whole point of the indefinite suspension was, well, if any more lawsuits pop up, the NFL would protect itself and could further discipline Deshaun Watson. Well, instead, they sold the farm to Deshaun Watson, and now, if they decide to further discipline him, which the NFL claims they can do, well, Deshaun Watson's legal team is saying they can't do that. So, if that ends up happening, which, honestly, given Roger Goodell's track record at this point, I kind of doubt. He's got the damn nuts to do it, if you want to know the absolute truth. I mean, he looked ridiculous handling this the way he did anyway when he decided to enter into a settlement agreement. I mean, you canceled the 6 games and said 1 year, okay, you looked better, even though this guy ought to get an indefinite ban. But then you backed off of that. Well, let's get to this. Florio, a legal battle looms if the NFL tries to discipline Deshaun Watson for similar conduct. On Friday, the NFL did not close the door on possibility of furthering discipline for Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson following the filing of a new lawsuit on Thursday. We will talk about one caveat to this, though. If, however, the NFL tries to impose further punishment on Watson for anything occurring before the date on which the league and Watson agreed to resolve the matter with an 11-game suspension and $5 million fine, a legal battle becomes likely, if not definite. Okay, we'll come back to this. Let me point this out right quick. As part of the agreement for the 11 games, the NFL has to feel like Deshaun Watson has shown remorse and contrition in all this. Be contrite, okay? And he has to follow to the letter of their law any kind of therapy sessions and all this kind of thing, okay? If the NFL feels that Deshaun Watson has not presented enough remorse, and keep in mind, they handed down the discipline to him, and he come out and was like, I still didn't do anything wrong. And it was like, what? Okay. So that's not exactly remorse, right? The NFL supposedly can further pursue this, or they can choose not to reinstate him after 11 games. That's at the discretion of God knows who. I would assume Roger Goodell, if he still wants to act like he's a commissioner. It's unbelievable. As a source familiar with the thinking of Watson's legal team explained to PFT, that's usually code word for we actually talked to Watson's legal team, Watson cannot be disciplined for any conduct that occurred before the settlement agreement was reached between Watson and the NFL. New discipline would be possible only if the conduct in question happened after the settlement, or if it involves behavior different from the misconduct for which he has been disciplined. The new lawsuit makes the same allegations Watson already faced, and the incident allegedly happened December 2020. The league has specifically said that it would try to discipline Watson for similar conduct that occurred before the execution of the August 2022 agreement. However, nothing would prevent further discipline of Watson for different conduct or anything happening after he and the league agreed to resolve prior proceedings with the suspension and the fine. And like I said in the video last night, from an article back in, I believe it was like June or July, after the fully guaranteed contract was made, supposedly a source familiar with how that contract laid out, that contract, the agreement to it, fully guaranteed, by the way, by the Browns, was supposedly agreed upon only based on 22 lawsuits. Well, we're now officially at 25. Okay? So if the Browns wanted a legal battle and if the Browns were willing to take on the NFL Players Association, the Browns might be able to get out of that contract. Will they? No, because Jimmy Haslam's a complete tool and a clown, or he wouldn't have traded for this bum to begin with. But you get my point. They could try to get out. Personally speaking, I think Jacoby Brissett's played well enough. I do. Is he as good as Watson? Who knows how good Watson is right now? He has set out how many games? How many games? By the time he gets back, we're going to be looking at, let's see, he set out 17 plus 11, 28 NFL games. How do we know this guy can even play? He looked terrible in preseason. I'm just pointing that out. I mean, the Browns, regardless of what's happened off the field, from just an NFL playing standpoint, may have set themselves up for total disaster here. Okay, because, again, who knows whether or not he can still play football. I mean, being an NFL quarterback's not easy. It's not. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports supporters. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.